Hello, my name is Holly Mackay. I've come to London's Regent's Park to talk to paraplanner Richard Allum. Richard, hi, thanks for joining me.
Hi Holly.
Your company works with about 25 financial advisory firms, so you're used to them, you know what they do, but for people out there who are wondering, what can they expect when they get in touch with a financial advisor?
Well, it could be a whole wide range of things really. The key thing is to make sure they know what they're trying to do. Any good advisor will spend quite a bit of time asking questions and listening to the individual to find out what it is they want to achieve before going anywhere near advice. So make sure they're clear what it is they want to achieve.
So Richard, tell me, what are some of the most common questions that people have? What do people contact financial advisors for typically?
Well, quite a lot of people these days have got a debt problem, so they're looking for some help. They're really surrendering and putting their hands up and saying, just somebody help me. But many people have got some money, they might have saved very hard over a number of years, and they're looking for an advisor to make sure that's put in the right place, it's got the best chance of achieving what they want to do without taking too many risks.
Well, Richard, you and I have both worked in the industry for years. We've seen some very good financial advisors. We've also seen some fairly poor ones out there, let's be honest. I mean, for people who are wondering, how do I go about finding a good, trusted financial advisor? What would your suggestion be?
As in most professions, there are bad apples out there, but most advisors are really good. And there's two ways I think people can go and find one. The first one is to get a recommendation from a friend, a family member or a colleague, someone that's worked with an advisor before and had a good experience. If you don't have that, you can search for one. You can go online and use Google. There are various good websites out there like Vouched For and Unbiased, and the Institute of Financial Planning and Personal Finance Society have good ones. And you can start to filter down by qualifications, by location, by cost in some cases. That should help you find out an advisor, or choose one or two or three to contact first of all before deciding on one.
Well, Richard, you mentioned qualifications there. What are the financial planning qualifications that people should look out for?
Qualifications don't always make a good advisor, but it does show you they've taken the time to educate themselves and reach a certain standard. They all have to have a minimum level, but the benchmark really now is what's called a chartered financial planner or a certified financial planner, and anybody with those qualifications is a pretty good place to start.
So Richard, for people wondering about taking financial advice, obviously a big question is, well, how much is it going to cost me? How do advisors charge, and what sort of levels might people expect to pay?
Well, contrary to popular opinion, advice has never been free. Up until a couple of years ago, many advisors were paid commission, and that wasn't always that clear to see what was going on. But things have changed a lot now, and it's very transparent. And typically, you'll either pay a percentage of the amount you invest or a fixed fee. And a percentage would be between 1% and 3% of what you invest, plus between 0.5% and 1% a year for a full review service. A fixed fee would depend a lot on what you're trying to achieve, but I'd say if you budget for at least £1,000, you're not going to go too far wrong there as a starting point.
For many people, £1,000 is going to sound like an awful lot of money. What do you think people should do if they're not prepared to pay that or haven't got the money to spend on that and they still want to seek some sort of guidance or help?
Well, the world of advice is changing and technology is helping a lot. So we've seen some new services which are delivered online or over the phone come along in recent years, which can still give good quality advice, but at a much lower cost. And if that's something someone's happy with, that could be a great place to start.
So Richard, a question I've got to ask you, you obviously know your way around the financial space, but do you have a financial advisor?
Yeah, I certainly do. Although I spend every working day helping with advice, I think it's great to have somebody else that's got an outside view that I can trust, and I know he's there. He's got my back, if you like, and making sure things are happening in my best interest.
Well, Richard, thank you very much for joining me in the park this afternoon and sharing your experiences of financial advice.
You're welcome.